Welcome back to the TK Show, where we talk about all things cigars and all things business. I'm the host, TK, author of Cigar Wealth and Credit Wealth. On this episode, we're going to talk about business debit cards or credit cards when you are at the cigar lounge purchasing cigars. Great question. I can't wait to get into it. Thank you so very much for this question. That was sent to me on my website, cigarwealth.com, in the Ask TK portal. If you have a question about business or cigars, that's where you go ask that question. I will answer it right here on this show. Credit wealth. I am going to do my best to answer this question. Should you use a debit card or a credit card when you're purchasing your tobacco at the cigar lounge? As a board certified credit specialist, this is a topic that is dear to me. So let's help the credit situation. I know a lot of you have credit questions. A lot of you are either trying to improve your credit, repair your credit, or even build your credit, and you enjoy a great premium beverage or cigar, if not both, but you're asking yourself, debit card or credit card? Let's go ahead and get into it. So the difference between a credit card and a business card, a credit card and a debit card. I'm going to get like real straight to the point on this. A debit card is to deduct, bottom line. Now, are there some pros and cons to a debit card versus a credit card? Yes. When it comes to debit, understand a debit card is, it's not building credit for sure. You're not building any credit. Are there certain debit cards that have reward points? Depending on your debit card, sure, you may get some type of percentage back on every single usage of that debit card. But keep in mind, when you use that debit card, you have to replenish, or rather replace, what you have used on that debit card. You have deducted something from your account using this debit card. Now that's a transaction. Whereas on a credit card, here we go. On a credit card, depending on the purchase, and I'm going to strongly suggest if it was a business transaction, hopefully you use it as a tax write-off as a business transaction, and you documented that on your transaction on statements as you send to your tax preparer for your taxes. Using that as credit, you are building your credit, especially if you're using your utilization, which is traditionally we hear 30% and under. My recommendation, 10% and under utilization. So keep in mind, if you're going to swipe your credit card, you have to know what type of utilization you're going to be accessing, which is my recommendation, 10% and under. So as you can see already with the debit card versus a credit card, the credit card, you're already thinking, okay, I can only use a certain amount of utilization on this credit card, but I'm also building my credit, and I got to also replenish. I can replenish this when I pay it back. Whereas a debit card, there is no replenishment. You have to replace that money used. You're not getting it. You're not building your credit, and depending on that debit card, you may get some type of reward points. Unlike we don't guarantee you for that credit card, you're going to get certain points. Those are some of the benefits of using that particular card. But as you're using your debit card, you have to replace. So replacing money and replenishing money are two different things. Once you have to go back and work for that money. With the credit card, you're actually paying that off, so you are back to that balance. And it's also revolving. This is revolving income. It's an account. It's a revolving account. It's revolving. This is strictly deduction. You're constantly, whatever's going in there every 2 weeks or whenever you do get paid, you're taking that money out and you're deducting. This is why I don't like using ATMs, which is access to money. I hate that. I hate access to money. Now, if you have a certain allocation to say, I'm going to allocate ABC amount of dollars to my personal enjoyment, this is my personal allowance. Even if you still use the debit card, you still got to replace that. Whereas if you use your credit card, there are more benefits, a lot more benefits of using your credit card. Now keep in mind, you notice I didn't say cash, right? You notice I didn't say cash, right? Because once you give that cash away, there are no benefits whatsoever. You're not getting anything back for using cash in any purchase, whether it's outside of the lounge or whether it's at the clothing store or not. It's gone. There's no paper trail. You have a receipt, if that, and you spent the money. And now you have to go and replace that situation. Whereas a credit card, there's a lot of benefits that come with the usage, especially utilization of 10% and under, which gives you discipline to say, even though I have this limit on this credit card, my utilization is here. My payback, my statement end date is this. My due date is that. My interest rates are this. So already you are thinking of all of these maneuvers. You're already thinking about all of these situations when it comes to your credit card. That's discipline. You're thinking about the best situation to take place. Whereas a debit card, there's really not too much thinking. Oh, it hit my account, swipe, great, it's gone. Now this is what I hate about debit. When you swipe a debit card, that merchant account, that store, that POS system, they may not batch out immediately. Batch out means to close the sale for their transaction of that day or that week. They may not batch out immediately. So that means you use a debit card here for $30, you use a debit card over here for $30, and you use a debit card over there for $30. That's $90. Now the next day goes by and you're looking at your account and it still shows that there's funds there, and you go out and purchase something else, or you've ordered something online, and then you get a notification in the email stating that you don't have enough funds to cover it. And you say to yourself, well, wait a minute. Yes, I do. It shows right here. Now it's reading, wait a minute. There are no funds in there because you thought they were going to take it out immediately. Some POS systems batch out that day. Some POS systems batch out immediately. And some POS systems even batch out at the end of the week, which is inconsistent all across the board and can easily throw you off. So now, not only were you swiping your card for funds that weren't there, now you have overdraft fees on top of that. And hopefully you are with the proper banking system, your tier 1, tier 2, tier 3, and tier 4 banking systems. If you want me to do a video on that, you can definitely leave it in the comments. I will do another video on what proper banking tiers should I be a part of. You have personal banks and you have business banks, and a lot of people are in the wrong ones. That's why they're not receiving any benefits for being with that particular bank, because you're probably with the wrong bank. But anyway, I'll do a video on that one later on. So to answer the question on credit and debit, I personally, credit card. Credit card, because you're getting not just points, but you're building your credit at the same time. You're also thinking about your financial health, your financial situation. You're thinking about, well, if I do this, it's going to trigger this, and it's going to trigger that, and it's going to trigger that. You're thinking about the entire wheelhouse. Whereas with a debit card, you may not have the best credit and you just want to go out and spend. Well, I believe those are nasty habits to have, nasty financial habits that will put you in this nasty rabbit hole, or this horrible cycle that's just ongoing, and not having control of your financial situation. That's what we want you to understand, is have financial stability and financial control of your situation. So to answer the question, I recommend using credit cards versus debit cards, not just when it comes to purchasing tobacco, but when it comes to purchasing anything. Now, if you say, well, I have good credit and it's already doing its thing, I already have my business credit established, and I have already allocated into this debit card because I don't want this to be associated with that, and I give myself an allowance every month, and that's what I spend it on, and I can see what my balance is. All right, if that works for you and you establish a system for that, then I wish you all the best with it. The walk away here is, are you in control and are you aware of your financial health? Are you aware of your financial transactions? Are you aware of how your financial wheelhouse operates? That's the whole premise of this show today, about credit versus debit. That's the whole entire premise. And if you need some more assistance on it, credit wealth, what we should have learned in school. That's what I truly believe. What's in there is what we should have learned in school. But anyway, a great book on Amazon. I published it. I am your board certified credit specialist. More so, I like to dabble into business credit to help my entrepreneurs out there understanding what funding is available for you. And if you want me to do an episode on that, please let me know in the comments, and I'll be more than happy to. So I hope I was able to answer this question with some form of clarity on not just the credit debit usage aspect, but on other aspects as well. So if you are using your debit card, which I get it. I prefer you to use your credit card to build credit using your proper utilization of 10% and under. That means if you have a $2,000 limit credit card, your utilization is $200, and hopefully even under that, you're only accessing $100, and you're monitoring and paying very, very, very close attention to how your money ebbs and flows for building personal and business credit. Got a question about cigars, business? Feel free to visit my website, cigarwealth.com, and ask TK. I'll do my best to answer the question to the best of my ability on this show. Till next time, check out Cigar Wealth, Credit Wealth, both on Amazon. The links are provided in the description. And until next time, I wish you massive success. Enjoy the day.